As you know, the BetterTOS2 1.2 update has just released and it's a massive update. It has 10 new modifiers, it has 1 new role, and it has a lot of balance changes. In this video, I'm going to explain everything that's changed in this update. Balance changes, new role, new modifiers. So without further ado, let's jump right in. So we have 10 new modifiers in this update. The first one is Pandora's Box. This is quite an interesting modifier where all Coven and APOC roles are in the same faction called Pandora, with a gradient of both Coven and APOC roles together, which looks quite fancy in my opinion. And there's certain role lists revolving around this modifier in casual queue right now, the one being Pandora Town Trader. If there's any Town Trader modifiers on while this modifier is also in the modifier list, it automatically becomes a Pandora Town Trader instead of like Coven or APOC since the factions are united. So our current list in casual queue is Pandora Town Trader replacing Coven Town Trader. We might see Pandora Jackal returns in the future, which I played on stream, which is a video that I uploaded 2 days ago. Our next modifier is Compliant Killers. This is an NK counterpart of Pandora's Box, where all neutral killing roles are united in the same faction named Compliance. There is no list around this modifier in casual queue as for now, but we might add some lists related to this modifier in future weeks. Our next modifier is Egotist Townie. So this modifier where one townie gets picked at the start of the game and becomes the Egotist Townie. And this Egotist Townie has now the neutral pariah win con, meaning you have to see the town lose the game. You no longer work for town, you need to see the town lose the game. And you have ethereal defense, meaning you cannot die to any evil attacks, you can only die to town attacks. Our next modifier is Coven VIP. So this modifier is inspired from the little monster role from Blood on the Clock Tower. I don't know if anyone knows the game, but so when this modifier is on, the book holder becomes the Coven VIP who has invincible defense, meaning they cannot die at night to any attack, they can only be killed by lynching. However, if the Coven VIP is lynched, all the Coven will die as well, just like how when Town VIP dies. So there's the game mode centered around this modifier called Coven VIP, where this modifier and Necropassing is coupled together. Basically, Coven can swap the book, so it's not that easy to find who the book holder is. So yeah, this is quite an interesting one. I'm looking forward to see how this game mode will work. Anyway, moving on to next one is Speaking Spirits. This is one of the modifiers in the Coven VIP game mode, pretty simple and straightforward. There's no dead chat while this modifier is on. Dead people can speak to the living, even while dead. Like there's no separating between dead chat and alive chat, so they can still speak. Wait, our next modifier is no last wills. Pretty simple and straightforward. There's no last wills in the game, they're not shown. Our next modifier is Immovable. When this modifier is on, any role that normally leaves town when their win condition is met, they don't leave. This modifier prevents roles from leaving town. Our next modifier is Snitch. This is yet another Blood on the Clock Tower modifier where you have 3 roles that are not in play that's given to evils in the start of each game. Evils get 3 roles that are not in play basically, that are not banned obviously. So to give them basically claim space. Our next modifier is Secret Whispers. This is also pretty simple and straightforward. Whispers, like you see in the game, someone whispered to somebody. For example, number 1 is whispering to number 2. That message is not shown. The whispers are hidden. Our next modifier is Individuality. So this modifier makes every role unique. Every single role becomes unique when this modifier is on. This modifier and Snitch combined could lead to interesting scenarios where Snitch would give evils claim space basically, while Individuality makes every role unique, so you cannot basically double claim people. Anyway, that's our 10 modifiers. Now we're moving on to our new role, which is Warlock. This role is a Death Acolyte, which is mutually exclusive with Soul Collector, meaning this role cannot spawn together with Soul Collector. The Warlock can curse somebody at night, and the maximum of 2 cursed players can be alive. If you try to curse a 3rd player when there's 2 cursed players alive, the curse will move from the player you picked first to your most recent pick. If a cursed player votes guilty at least once in a day's trials, you will get a charge at night. However, you cannot get multiple charges from the same player in one single day. Otherwise, that will be broken. When you have 6 charges, you will become Death Horseman of the Apocalypse. If a cursed player visits, their target will show as Warlock to investigative roles. If they don't, themselves will show up as Warlock to investigative roles. Anyway, moving on to balance changes. Our first balance change is a Marsh rework, where tribunal charges has gone to 2 instead of 1. However, you can only lynch 2 people in a tribunal. So like if a Marsh reveals that you can only lynch 2 people, and it's like if there's only 1 trial left, it will still be 1. So it's still relying on the trial count, it doesn't reset trial count. However, like this idea, our goal is to give evils time to kill the Marsh or disrupt the Marsh for MPs. For example, Marsh used the tribunal once. Then in that night, Auditor can steal that second charge, or Starspawn can call Daybreak the next day to delay the tribunal. While in that time, evils kill the Marsh, etc. That kind of stuff. We're trying to slow the game down, so this rework I believe will slow Marsh down and give evils considerably enough time to counter it. While NPs are still a counter, since like Judge still does the same thing. Auditor and Starspawn can prevent a second tribunal, or like just steal all the charges if they, detect someone's Marsh, that kind of stuff. Anyway, our next balance change is Coven Leader. We believe Coven Leader having powerful attack is a bad thing for neutrals, since it's basically just one click and kill whoever has basic defense. It's, I think, one of the reasons that makes basic defense kinda meaningless, since if there's a CL, they can just, ignore any kind of defense. So instead of like switching from basic to powerful, we decided to make CL a different role. You can basically morph people into another Coven role that is not in play. But you cannot create CK roles due to the possible balance issues that it can create. Because Coven killing roles are obviously focused on kill per night, and it might be unbalanced to just... You would just create infinite amount of like... Not infinite, but you would just turn everyone to Coven killing. And it will be very unbalanced and unfun to play against, so for balance reasons we decided to make it not allow to create CKs. You can also morph yourself, but morphing yourself has a cost while you will lose your basic defense. And you may not morph 9-1. I believe it's a fair trade-off. I'm interested to see how this role will work. Let me know what you guys think. Moving on to our next balance change. Deputy rework. We decided to experiment with changing Deputy because right now Deputy and Pros are very similar in terms of that, and Deputy is like a town power with that day kill. So we made Deputy night kill. During the day you may mark a player as your target. A maximum of 2 marked players can be alive. Like same as how Warlock curse works, if you mark a 3rd player, the mark will move from your first target to 3rd. At night you can camp out a player's house. Camping is infinite. If one of your marked targets visit camped targets, you will shoot them, dealing a powerful attack. You have 2 shots. Basically, when you shoot a marked target, you will lose a bullet. If you shoot a townie, you will lose your other bullet, and you won't be able to shoot, basically. You may not mark day 1, you may not camp night 1, for obvious reasons. So Deputy becomes a night kill here. And we wanted to see, it's a more skill-based role, and we wanted to see how this idea will work out. The cinematic is being reused for the night kill. For example, you have cinematics for SK kills, Arso kills. The depth cinematic is reused when you die to Deputy at night instead, so the cinematic is still being reused. However, you guys will say, this overlaps with Crusader. However, we also addressed that. We also changed Crusader for that, so it doesn't overlap. Crusader has become a role that basically causes people's abilities to fail towards a player that you fortified. However, Crusader cannot fortify same player 2 nights in a row now, because like it will be, I believe, OP to just go on the same person over and over with this ability. Fortifying a player will make all abilities your target fail. However, if your target is being isolated by a Starspawn or is jailed, your ability will still fail. Astral Visit will ignore Crusaders. That's one more thing. So this fixes the Crusader killing town problem. Right now the Crusader skill is very inconsistent and can causes more damage to town than helps town. Crusaders always kill townies. And that's where the Green Jinx meme comes from. So this rework is trying to address that problem, fixing Kurus killing town over and over, but like instead of think it that way, is like just dying to Kurus and just being removed from the game for the rest of the game is good, or just not being able to use the ability for one night if you visit Kurus target is good. I believe the second one is much more healthier for the game. Like randomly dying to Kurus is never fun as town. Like you're a seer, you're checking someone. Would you prefer not getting info for one night, or would you prefer just dying and not getting anything for the rest of the game? This is what I mean. I believe this is this is a much healthier rework, so I would like to see how this plays out. Let me know your feedback again, as usual. Yeah, one more thing, we're like making the message when your ability failed more generic, so Starspawn can fake claim Crusader or even Jailer. Because if you visit a jailed person, if you get like Starbound or if you get blocked by a Crusader, you will get the same message called your ability has failed due to an unknown obstacle. Which this unknown obstacle can be anything. It could be Jailer, it could be Starspawn, or it could be Crusader. And one more good change about this is this makes Starspawn less loud. Like, before this update, when you get Starbound, you know that there's a Starspawn in the game. However, with this new message, you will not know, and it's 100% that it's Starspawn. So this gives uncertainty which the neutral pariah role in the game is. In lists that have confirmed NP, like, it could be Judge, it could be Starspawn. I think the only one that gives it away right now is Auditor. And that's because of Smoke Bomb. Anyway, Executioner is coming back to modded with a rework. Now, this Executioner receives the target at the start of the game, which has to be a town roll and cannot be a TPOW. Instead of Torment, however, Torment is removed, but the cinematic is reused as a cinematic that Executioner claims the soul of their target by tormenting them, basically. And the punishment is, instead of someone dying, there's going to be no trials the next day if the Executioner wins. If Executioner's target dies at night or by any other means, basically, they will become a Jester. Basically, we're going back to TOS1 EXE, I think which was the most healthy one. And the punishment is, instead of just basically killing someone, it's kinda slowing down the game. It, like, no trials hurt town more than evils. That's an undeniable fact. And I don't like Torment personally. It's very unhealthy for the game because right now, when you're Executioner, your target can be evil. And you get your win. And you kill another Coven. You can basically screw over Coven or screw over a town for playing right. For example, X target is evil. You lynch the evil X target and you lose your Jailer to Torment. So town gets punished for playing right. These are what makes X unhealthy for the game, and this rework is aiming to address those problems. And hoping it's gonna work good. Yeah, we're moving on to our next rework, which Illusionist has gained a new ability. Mass Hysteria causes all enemy investigator rolls, this includes roles like Inquisitor as well, to get wrong results. Here, Sheriff, Corner, Inquisitor sees opposite results. Lookout sees no visits. Tracker sees as their target has visited the book holder's target. And Psychic gets completely random results. This is a one-time use ability that can basically cause havoc, and because it will cause every single TI to get wrong results, it could cause a lot of confusion. It has a lot of potential. So I believe this will be interesting. Our next change, we're decided to change the Cursed Souls win conditions. The main reasoning for this is right now, like, the Cursed Souls win condition was to kill everybody. However, if you get a role like Corner or Psychic as a Cursed Soul, there's no way you could just, for example, if you're solo, there's no way you can just win the game by killing others because your role cannot kill. However, this rework, this win condition is more interactive with finding who has the Cursed Soul role now, because now you have to eliminate who has the Cursed Soul role after swapping. You're still a faction, but however, you have to swap and eliminate whoever has the Cursed Soul role, then you will leave town. Basically, I believe this is much more winnable compared to the previous Cursed Soul. Cursed Souls are still a faction, however, you basically have to hunt down whoever has the CS role. Anyway, that was it for this patch notes. Let me know your feedback about what you guys think about this patch. But thank you for watching. I will see you guys in the next video.